everybody, Mr. Boma from Mr. Boma's Balloons here, and I'm here to talk to you about the flat weave. Now, I've got a couple of other videos about the flat weave. There's one that teaches the basic flat weave, and there's one that teaches variations of the flat weave. So if you don't know about the flat weave, go watch those videos and then come back to this video. Go on. Go ahead. Seriously, go. Go. Jeez, I thought they'd never leave. Okay, now that the riffraff is gone, let's talk. The standard flat weave, as you know, is a two-layered weave. We've got double layer. Well, I have come up with a single layer flat weave. Now, I say I came up with this, but I'm not claiming ownership. This kind of just popped into my head one day, and I figured out and made it. But I'm sure that there are other people who've probably been making this for years, probably years before I even touched my first balloon. So I'm not claiming ownership, but it is something that I came up with without seeing any pictures or getting any tutorials or anything like that. Now you'll notice a few things about this other than the fact that it's a single layer. One is that it's got pinch twists all the way down the row. Compared to the normal flat weave, on this you have a pinch twist on each end, but in the center there are no pinch twists, typically. You can put pinch twists there, but typically you don't. Now the reason that I've got the pinch twist here, it's actually twofold. The first is that this structure with the single layer is actually pretty unstable. This double layer is very stable. It holds its shape very well. This single layer does not. It tends to buckle and want to bend. So by putting those pinch twists there, that makes it hold its shape better so that it stays flat. The other reason is that it's just easier to make with the pinch twists. Without those pinch twists, the roll-throughs are a bit trickier on this single layer than they are on the double layer. So I'll show you how to do that, but it's not something that I'm really comfortable with. I much prefer having these pinch twists here. Now what do you do with this? Well, you can see I've got the different stripes. If you need something that's single layer that's striped, you can do that. You can do it all one color like this. I honestly was not sure what to do with it. It kind of popped in my head. I went, oh yeah, I bet I can do that, but what am I going to use it for? So I posted a question on Balloon Twister Central, and I got lots of great feedback. There were people saying, oh, we'll make it a little larger, and you could make a breastplate. If you make these longer, you could make it square, and you could maybe do the top of a graduation cap. If only I had thought of this a month earlier, right? Everybody graduated last month. There were suggestions to make, you could make a bridge. You could curve it around and make like a loop, and then it would be like tire or tank treads out of this. You might, or some other suggestions. Oh, maybe an airplane's wing or a bird's wing. One of the things that was suggested is if you make these bubbles short and on the bottom make these bubbles long, then you could, and then circle it around, you could actually end up with a cone shape. And this might be used for a princess dress, or maybe a megaphone, or I don't know what else, maybe a hat of some sort. But you can see that, that I've got small bubbles between the pinch twists at the top and larger bubbles between the pinch twists on the bottom. This is actually a really good view. It shows you that there's a pattern with this. Between the pinch twists, you get single bubble, double bubble, single bubble, double bubble, single bubble, double bubble, single bubble, double bubble, single bubble, double bubble. It goes on and on and on. You get that pattern. And it's kind of fun to say. Single bubble, double bubble, single bubble, double bubble, single bubble, double bubble, single bubble, double bubble. You should have a contest, see who can say that the fastest. Anyhow, so those are some suggestions, but I'm sure there's tons more that you could do with this. I would love to see what you come up with as far as what to do with this. Go ahead and join the Facebook group, Balloons I Learned from YouTube, Bilfy, B-I-L-F-Y, Balloons I Learned from YouTube. And you can post on there all of the designs that you come up with that use this. And I am the moderator on that group, so I'll see anything you post there. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to do this. I'm going to show you the standard way with the pinch twist. I'll show you without the pinch twist, and then I will show you how to make it with the stripes. I don't show you this cone shape, but you can figure it out on your own. It's just the standard pattern. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I have an assortment of various colors here. You can choose whatever color you like for this. I'm going to use this opportunity to get rid of some of my jewel tones. I am going to inflate my balloon about halfway. I'm going to start with a pinch twist. My next bubble will be a little bit more than a hand's width, and then another pinch twist. I'm going to next do a small bubble, and then I'm going to do another pinch twist. I find it best with this design to do pinch twists all the way down. It helps to hold the structure flat. Without it, I'll show you actually in a bit, I'll show you what it's like without the pinch twist. I'll show you how to do that. And you'll see that it doesn't want to rest flat. Okay, I've done another pinch twist here. I'm going to do a small bubble. So this small bubble here, should match the small bubble up here, and I'm attaching back to the first pinch twist. But now you can see the problem. I need to get the balloon back to this pinch twist. So I can either squeeze all the air out and bring it back like that, and that works fine. It gives you a single bubble there. But I find that sometimes this will pull a little bit too much, and it pulls the ends together. So if you find that you're having that problem, just make another small bubble here, and you get a double bubble, and that's fine. Okay, next another small bubble, followed by a pinch twist. Come down to the other end. Another pinch twist. Another small bubble, and back into the pinch twist. Another small bubble, and back. Now you're going to end up with a pattern here. Single bubble, double bubble, single bubble, double bubble, single bubble, double bubble. On the other side, double bubble, single bubble, double bubble, single bubble. So you'll get that pattern all the way. At this point, this is not enough to do another, so I would break this off, tie it off, and then attach my new balloon right there. So you can get this, the pinch twists help to hold this nice and flat, and so that's the way to go if you want something that is completely flat. Okay, let's make one without the pinch twists all the way. Again, inflating about halfway. I am going to start with a pinch twist. I'm going to come down about a hand's width. Of course, you can make these much longer if you want. If you were doing like a breastplate or anything like that, you could make them longer or shorter or whatever. This is just for example purposes. I'm showing you about a hand's width. Okay, next I'm going to do a small bubble. I am not going to put a pinch twist there. I'm just going to measure down to the other side. I am not going to put a pinch twist here. I'm just going to do a small bubble and attach back to the pinch twist. Now here's the problem. I need to get the balloon back to this joint right here so that I can continue my pattern. So again, you could squeeze the air out and bring it back over here, but that's kind of tough to do when you don't have a pinch twist to attach to. So I'm going to make a small bubble, and now I'm going to pinch together the two joints there, and I'm going to roll those two bubbles around each other. Roll them around 2 or 3 times. Okay. And now the balloon is coming out right where I want it to. I'm going to make a small bubble. Come down to the other side. Make a small bubble. I need to attach that one right there. You can pass this through the middle there if you want. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is to do another roll through. So I'm going to take this joint here and I'm going to pinch it with that joint there. And now when I roll through, I actually have to roll through all 3 of these bubbles. This small one, the big one, and the small one. All 3 of them need to get rolled through. Just like that. Now I need to make another small bubble. And I need to roll these 2 again. So again, I'm getting that pattern, 1 bubble, 2 bubbles, 1 bubble, 2 bubbles, 2 bubble, 1 bubble, 2 bubble, 1 bubble. Continuing on, bubble, small bubble, large bubble, small bubble. At this point, I've got very little left, so rather than doing that whole roll through, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to pass it through here, roll it around there a couple times, and then break off the rest. Okay. So, I mentioned earlier, part of the problem with not having those pinch twists is that this really doesn't want to sit as flat. If we compare it to the one with the pinch twist, the one with the pinch twist sits nice and flat. It's not trying to curl. This one really wants to curl on itself. And so if you're doing something that requires a curl, maybe you're doing tank treads or you're doing a bridge or something like that, and a curl is okay with you or is actually desired, then you can do this method. I think that pinch twists are easier anyhow. So I don't see why you wouldn't do this. Maybe the balloon doesn't go quite as far because you're adding in those pinch twists, but to me this seems like the way to go, even if you do want a curve, because you can still, if you want, you can still, by manipulating those pinch twists, you can still get a curve out of this. Okay, it is possible to do this with 2 balloons. If you want stripes, different colors. So I'm going to start with 2 different colors here. Going to start with a pinch twist. Come down a hand's width or so, put in another pinch twist. And now I am going to connect in my green balloon on the opposite side from the blue. I'm going to make a small bubble and a pinch twist. I'm going to come down to the other side. I'm going to make a small bubble in the blue, and I'm going to attach the green right there. Why didn't I make a pinch twist? Well, I didn't want to make the pinch twist blue because then I'd have blue-blue instead of blue-green. So I'm going to make the pinch twist now with the green one. And that's going to keep my pinch twist alternating colors. Okay, I'll go ahead. The next one is going to be blue. So blue. And bring it down to the other side. Pinch twist.
small bubble, connect to this pinch twist, the green one, small bubble, back to the blue pinch twist. Now up here I need to get this green over here, so I'm going to small bubble, attach to the blue. Okay. So now you can see blue, green, blue, blue, green, blue. And we can continue that with a green, small bubble, followed by a pinch twist, down to the other side. I'll go ahead and I'll make the pinch twist here first. Pinch twist, small bubble in the blue, wrap into that pinch twist. I may have made that blue bubble, that small blue bubble, a little bit large there. I did. That's okay. Okay, so you can see that you can get your stripe pattern here. And if you do it like I showed you, then you actually get alternating color pinch twists as well. You will end up with the occasional double bubble at the end that is both blue and green. It'll have both colors. You'll notice this one is two blues, but this one is a blue and a green. So that's the pattern. I'd love to see what you can do with this. I've given you a few ideas already, but I would love to see more. Post them to the Facebook group, Balloons I Learned from YouTube, and then I can see what you're doing with them. All right, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.